Hi everybody, this is TheHande Makinen, doing another adventure game Let's Play, and I'm joined here by RetroKaiser once again.
Hey ho, Captain Kaiser here. Nearly did my Kermit the Frog impersonation again.
Yeah. And continuing on our trend of playing adventure games out of order, we're doing Broken Sword 2, The Smoking Mirror. Which is actually kind of a...
Mirror,
Yep.
I said mirror, not mirror. They said the M's upside down. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the smokingest of them all?
Nice. This was actually the first Broken Sword that I owned. I had to actually... Me and Ville, we had to actually band together to get the first game originally, because it was, for a while, it was a little hard to get. And it was even more frustrating to run. I remember we had the Windows XP and the Windows 98
Jeez,
machine.
the Red Skull definitely, oh, never mind, it's just a guy in a mask.
It's yeah, that's the Aztec priest about to do a human sacrifice.
Interesting.
There's something about the animation in this game. It's not quite as polished, in my opinion, as the first game. But then again, the first game had a few derpy cutscenes as well. I mean, at least it's consistent, I think, the style. The first Broken Sword had, because they used different animation studios for all the different cutscenes.
Ooh, right in the neck.
Yep.
Talk about a real pain in the neck.
Yeah. You can't really tell from this, but that guy with the blow dart is actually, he's a dwarf. We'll run into him a bit later.
Ugh, kill it, kill it.
That's the plan. So yeah, so unlike the first game, this one like kicks off right away. Well, okay, so the first game starts with a freaking cafeteria being bombed. It's George now. George, that's who we're gonna play as. Is George, and so he's stuck in a burning house, and a venomous spider's about to get him. Here's the game. Good luck.
Yeah, I was thinking, this game opens up very suddenly. It's like, isn't there like a prelude chapter or something? Like,
Yeah, this game is very much like a direct follow-up to the first game.
Stump it.
Yeah, can't stump.
Over the books, vaguely hoping to find a copy of How to Deal with Poisonous. No such thing. But
I like how these jokes have got subtitles. It makes it easier for me to catch what's going on.
Yeah. Because I want to be able to hear George's speech. Okay. Here we go.
maybe I'd been a little heavy-handed, but it was a question of survival. Of course, I was still tied to a chair in a burning house with no means of escape.
I love Rolf Saxon's voice. These sprite animations, though, these are like really high quality.
With one mighty
they're
bound,
good.
our hero was free. Now, I had to deal with that fire.
I think George's jacket changed color between games. Yeah, it was a bit more greenish in the first one. Now it's kind of blue.
That dart was sharper than a mosquito's business end.
Ooh, how are we gonna put that
But this
fire?
didn't deter me from getting it anyway.
And the girl who got kidnapped, by the way, that was Nico, or Nicole Collard. She's a journalist, and she helped George out in the first game. And now George has come back to Paris after being away for a while.
It was a stylish little canvas number containing a lipstick, a handwritten note, and a pair of nylon panties with a large love heart emblazoned across the front. It occurred to me that Nico's tastes must have really changed while I was away. Well, they could be useful.
Okay, the nylon panties. We can.
Interesting.
Okay, there's two different ways we can go about. There's a bottle of tequila also here that we can try to drink, and we get a worm out of it, and it helps us solve a puzzle later in the game. Or we can leave the tequila bottle be, and we can use actually these panties later to solve that same puzzle. So, so these are kind of interesting.
Just don't pour the tequila over the fire. That won't work.
Okay. But let's try to at least live up to the seriousness of the situation and actually try to deal with the fire.
Try stomping it. What the heck just happened there?
Blew the doors open.
I used the dart to pick open the lock on the cabinet. So there was a...
It was a small metal cylinder. That cylinder was hot. I couldn't pick it up with my bare hands.
Okay, so this is where we get to use the...
Use the panties.
Yeah, exactly.
The panties I'd found in Nico's bag were just what I needed to wrap around the hot cylinder.
Talk about a pair of hot pants.
Yeah. And there's a siphon. Well, it's got... It's...
There was no pressure in the siphon. I guess it was out of gas.
I guess this is what you use to sprinkle, get water. That's what that capsule was that we picked up from the cabinet.
The cylinder gave out a faint hiss as the valve opened. Now I had one primed up and ready to...
He shook it too hard.
No, he just squirted himself. He pressed it down.
Just don't do that too much, you'll go blind.
Our hero saved the day. Now it was time to start looking for Nico.
Okay.
Well, that
I
was
wasn't going to burn myself on that
surprisingly
robot
quick.
doorknob, and it wasn't the time for subtlety.
Boom. The action hero kicked through the door.
Yeah. It's funny because this is not really like an action-y game anyway. Oh yeah, there was that note in the handbag as well. We might as well read it.
I had no business reading the note, but I figured it might give me a clue to what Nico was involved in. It was from Andre Lobineau, the history student Nico had known at college. The letter was sentimental mush, and revealed that the exotic lingerie, as he called it, was a gift from him. It gave his telephone number. Lobineau figured himself as a rival for Nico's affections, but I couldn't believe
this Andre guy
was in the running.
This Andre guy was also in the first game and kind of helped out, but he and George don't see eye to eye.
I'd found a piece of newspaper folded
I
in
can
two.
tell.
Yeah.
It referred
Which is kind of
to
funny
the
once you
eclipse
see
of the sun.
him. We're going to
Unfortunately,
meet
it
him up
wouldn't be visible from
a
Europe.
bit
The best
later.
place to view the eclipse would be Mexico.
Okay, first clue as to where we're going to go in this game. So this was released back in 1996. By the way, there's something in that room we still need to get. It's not the tequila. We're going to leave the tequila BB. We're going to leave the tequila BB. Yep.
I remember seeing advertisements for this game everywhere back in 1996. It was a huge release back then.
Inside.
Yeah, which is surprising because Revolution was not like a big company, but I guess because Virgin was their distributor, like
Yeah.
but they also distributed all the Disney games too, or at least some of them.
And some of the Capcom games as well for PlayStation.
Yeah,
Nice couple.
yeah. There's a photograph.
Photograph wasn't any use to me.
Wah, 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 it's the penguin.
Ubier and his wife, I guess.
Yeah, because this was Professor Ubier who we were supposed to go see, as mentioned in the opening.
The pot contained a key.
Okay. Oh yeah. This is the house key. Now I remember. The front door's locked. We just didn't try it out yet.
I like that hand, how it's like doing like the signals like over here. Over
Yeah,
here,
it shows. It's really good because it shows like if you can walk, further left or right, it starts doing that come hither thing. Again, now that we tried the door out, and this game is
The door was locked. I didn't fancy my chances of kicking this door down.
and it's very similar to the first game, and they came out like really back to back.
I unlocked the door.
Yeah. Okay, the door's unlocked, and now we gotta call
Much as I
Andre.
disliked him,
One thing I want to say about this game is it also has one of the most interesting box arts I've ever seen from a PC game.
Yeah, the first two Broken Swords had really like creative. I wouldn't say like great box art, but it's definitely like very original.
George Stowe.
I like the second one. The second one has like the Mayan mask.
You mean ex-boyfriend?
Look, I didn't call you just to pick a fight. I need to talk to you about Miko.
Can't you accept she's just not interested
It
in
was
you?
also again, it was
Listen, Andre, we
only
need
ported
to talk.
to more
Miko's
consoles
liked
than what it
family.
needed to be.
Okay.
Which
You
game?
remember the cafe at Montfaucon?
This one, it was on Game Boy Advance, if I remember.
Oh yeah, but the that
Was
that came like much later. Like this was
Better show you
originally just for PCs and actually PlayStation. Like both of the
PlayStation, yeah.
the first two Broken Swords were also on the PlayStation, which is kind of surprising. But I don't know, and you know, maybe just Revolution at the time they liked the PlayStation because they also before they made the third one they made kind of this action adventure style kind of a pseudo Metal Gear Solid type game called In Cold Blood, and that was also a PlayStation release. Okay, and now we're gonna revisit a location from the first game. You're not gonna recognize it, but this is the cafe at Montfaucon. And Montfaucon is the big church over there on the right, which is where they hanged the Templars during the prosecutions of what was it, 1113? No, or no, somewhere thereabouts in the old Middle Ages. And this is a character from the first game. He was a gendarme. There.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just looked up the box art for this game. I was totally thinking of the first Broken Sword when I said interesting box art. Oh no, this one is pretty interesting too, except it makes it look more like a horror game than anything.
But don't I know you?
I think it's cool. I think it's really cool.
You were here the day I found
the first. I'm not a big fan of the first game's box art because, well, it is cool looking, but it doesn't really have to do with anything in the game. So, at least like the second game's box art hints at the whole Incan South American thing.
My girlfriend.
What it is to be young and in love.
It's just funny that none of the voice actors from the first game came back for this, except for Rolf Saxon, who's in all the Broken Sword games as George. But this gendarme, for instance, he's now retired, or we can ask actually.
Why did you leave the police?
I was forced to retire. The golden handshake. Only in my case, it was more copper than gold.
How come?
I was made a scapegoat to cover up the department's inefficiencies.
Yeah, he just sat around in this cafe all day drinking wine. That's more likely the reason why he got fired in the first game. Okay, and...
Have you ever heard of a Professor Oubier?
No, monsieur. I don't recall the name.
Well, apparently he's an expert on Mayan art and history.
A little out of my field of experience, monsieur. If he'd been a serial killer or a sodomite, I might have been able to help.
A serial killer or a sodomite. Okay, here. We need to talk to this waiter to progress the story.
I thought it said water for a second.
What?
Well, like water, that'd be lovely.
If you don't mind.
When I finish serving this,
Oh, that's not cheap bastard going to a cafe and just ordering the water.
Yeah. I can still ask this guy something. I'm gonna show
This
this.
scene,
What do you
this
make of this dart?
town looks very nice. That's
I
very
remember
beautiful.
a case where the victim was killed with just such a device. The poison acted in seconds, causing his body to swell up like an inflatable life raft.
I'll show him the note too from Andre.
Tell
This
me
is
what you
kind
make
of this
of
is funny.
this note.
From my years of experience, I gained a pretty good insight into handwriting. I'd say that note was written by a compulsive, obsessive type with an Oedipus complex.
Hey, you got just about everything apart from the ponytail.
Yeah, Labano's gonna show up
Cafe.
Thanks.
when we're done chatting up the waiter. Is when Labano's gonna show up.
Do you know a guy called Andre Lobineau?
Oui, I know him. What of it?
Well, I'm supposed to meet him here. Did I miss him?
No, I have not seen him today.
Have you heard of Professor Oubier?
Oui, he married that actress, the little dachshund. They used to come here, the nutty professor and the movie star.
Eddie Murphy.
If Oubier's wife was a movie star, how come I never heard of her?
She was big in France. The world doesn't stop at Hollywood. Her stage name was Carol Climax.
Carol
She
Climax.
died in suspicious circumstances.
That sounds like a friggin' Donald Duck character.
How did Ubier
I really liked
die?
this game when I played it, but the thing that's... it is really short and easy, and I mentioned this also in my review of the Broken Sword games that I did a while back, is that this game is really, really easy. And it took me like... It literally took me 2 days just to beat it. So...
Why would an eminent public figure
And I
like
didn't
Ubier risk
I didn't even like check
2 whole days?
well,
Besides,
it's like day one, I played it a little bit, and I took a break, and then I continued the next day, just finished it, and I was like, really? That's it? Like, there aren't even like really difficult puzzles in this game.
Do you know that man over there?
I should think so. He's a regular customer.
Okay, I think that's all.
Thank you.
I think Labeno's gonna show up. Yeah, my mouse disappeared, so there he is.
Well, well, this is a surprise, Georgie.
Well.
Yeah. And it's funny because his voice is completely different from the way it was. He had quite a high-pitched voice in the first game, and here he's like really deep.
Trouble.
His balls finally dropped, that's why.
What did you drag her into this time? It was you that recommended Professor Ubier as an expert on.
This is an interesting close-up. Like, it's never reused, like these sprites ever after this scene.
Walking out on her was the best thing you could do.
My father was dying, damn it.
I think my screen froze up.
Well, she soon recovered.
Yeah, well, he's basically just telling that the reason he was away from Paris for a while was because his dad died. George's dad died, and he came back, and now they're arguing. Did it come
There
back
we go,
now?
it's caught up now.
Okay, good.
Nico needs
That's
to
caught up.
speak to Ubier about a stone.
I see some old guy drinking wine.
That's the gendarme. That's the gendarme that was sitting there previously.
So
His name isn't a parody of Van Damme, is it? Gendarme?
No, that's his job. The French police are called gendarmes.
Oh, very funny.
Oh.
Yeah.
Your life really is
Yeah.
on the line.
I don't know his name. He was just a gendarme in the first game, so that's why I call him that.
Nico was from Central America.
That sounds a bit like an insult, I think, those gendarmes.
You mean I could be in danger
It's
too?
an armed guard, basically. That's what it means.
What do you suppose the carving on the stone?
The only
means?
it was in the only cops in the first game that were named. It was Inspector Rosso, and then there was there was Sergeant Moo, and Sergeant Moo actually comes back in the fifth game, which came out like.
What is he, a cow or something?
Moo was awesome. No, it's M-O-U. Yeah.
Where did Nico get the stone?
Sergeant Moo.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mao.
Where?
Yeah.
Who?
I'm not sure. I should tell
Mao.
Oh, you should.
you. It was something to do
Or Mo.
with
Mo.
smuggling.
No, he was a great character. He was like an awesome, an awesome. What am I trying to say? Comic relief character. He's mentioned in this game as well, but we never see him.
Why didn't Nico take the stone to Ubier?
I don't know. Perhaps she suspected
I
something
like how my
like this would
screen's
happen.
stuck again. It's stuck on. Oh my god. You mean I could be in danger
that's
too?
typical.
Oh, it's still in that close-up where we're talking about like
It occurred to me that
what Nico was talking about, why she wanted to see this Professor Ubier, and what that stone had to do. It had to do something to do with smuggling, and that then George asked why didn't Nico take that stone with her to see Ubier, and Andre just guessed that it's probably because she suspected something like this that would happen.
Tell me about your friend Ubier.
He's more of a professional acquaintance
Has it caught up
than a
yet?
friend.
I see. So you don't really
Yes,
know
sir.
him at all.
Okay,
No,
good.
I don't.
It has.
Yeah.
I see. There's the
Does
waiter
Ubier
again.
employ a guy from Central America?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, and then now the big pot
What can
thing.
you tell me about this pot?
So,
South or
I mean, this
Central America,
we're gonna ask
I'd
about the
say.
pot, and this is
I
gonna
have a
move the
friend
story
who'd be
along
able to
again.
Tell you more.
Where can
I've
I
always-
find this guy?
He owns a gallery on
I
the
want to
left
see.
bank.
I always want to see a
Lee's
game with a
gallery.
waiter named Chocolat Bleu.
Sacre bleu.
Yeah.
Later. Goodbye, Georgie.
Okay, Now, Andre's gonna take a hike. Yeah, we got a cutscene now. A little cutscene. We're gonna see what happened to Nico.
Meanwhile, in the Hall of Justice...
I've had enough of your games, Kala. Tell me what you've done with my stone.
I thought your business was simply smuggling cocaine, Karzak. Why are you so interested in that stone?
Either you tell me what I want to know, or Pablo here will make you talk.
So the guy in the red shirt is the one who carried Nico off in the opening animation, but you notice like how his face doesn't really look anything like it did in the opening.
Would be able to help.
It's like somebody drew that face in like paint or something. So it doesn't look quite the same way animated.
I sent the stone to the department of
That's one thing about this game that bugs me, is that there's a bit of an inconsistency in different art styles being used.
You're not buying this, are you?
That's enough. I don't have time to listen to your mindless prattle.
It's always the games and the adventure games that's always getting tied up.
Yeah, but this is actually the first game in the series originally where you got to play as Nico. So later we get to play as Nico in this game. In the first game you didn't. Okay.
It was a small silver flask from which the man was topping up his glass.
Okay, we're gonna try to steal this flask, and then we're gonna like close off this first part of the game. There's quite a bit of story that needs to go through before we get into really like the fun puzzle parts.
What does that guy keep pouring out?
Stealing is wrong. Never ever steal, children.
It's actually absinthe, he just said.
I thought that was highly dangerous and outlawed in France.
It is.
No, I was talking to the people watching this.
Yeah.
Never... public service announcement or some crap like that.
Okay. Alright. Now we gotta distract him, and then we gotta steal his absinthe.
I'm trying to find my girlfriend. She's been kidnapped.
Kidnapped?
Yeah. It was our first day back together after many months.
That's too bad. My God, that's depressing.
The screen froze up again on me.
Okay, well now he's depressed and he has his eyes covered, so we're gonna quickly like get the flask from him. Yoink! There we go.
I grabbed the flask and was struck by
a depressed drunk. That's something new.
Potent and illegal
no, yeah, we depressed him by telling that our girlfriend was kidnapped. But okay, that yeah. Well, so... Okay, we'll come back in the next part, and we're gonna finally go show our pot off to some archaeologist fellow, so...
be careful, it could be a cop.
Yeah. Okay, signing off. Bye!
Because...
Okay.
The thing I hate about this mic is you can probably pick up on my heavy breathing.
Okay, I'll hit the restart now. I forgot there's the fucking old Virgin logo.
Yeah, look, there's an eye.
This is a fucking creepy logo.
Can
you tell that it was the 90s?
Yeah, I can tell it's the Virgin Interactive. They did come up with some weird stuff.
Yeah. Well, they were just a publisher.
Yep.